Hello, I'm back again. Here's the next project I'm working on. What I'm trying to do is, rather than having the new stainless skins just be a big flat panel like that, which is okay, but what I'm trying to do is incorporate this rub rail into it. I talked about that previously, whether I was going to try and do that or not, and I decided to try. And I want to get at least this bay door reskinned this fall. You know, it's now first part of September, and this bay, would be nice to have it insulated. It's a little easier to keep the water bay warm over the winter. It's, you know, I'm just doing it with an electric heater and it's working, but you know, if I can insulate it and have it a little less power needed to keep it heated, then that would be good. So I'm trying to skin this panel, and then I'll redo this one as well, and then all these panels here I'll redo, whether I reuse this stainless on here, or if I use new stainless and use this stainless back, you know, for some of these smaller panels at the back or whatever. I'm not sure yet, but I wasn't real sure whether this was going to work. In fact, I was kind of contemplating whether to even bother with it, but I managed to get. Now, this panel is not perfect by any means. This would be simple if I still had my English wheel, but I don't, so I got to make do with what I got. But I was able to form it where it follows that fairly well. I don't know whether that shows up on the video or not, but I could force it down into place with a piece of angle, 2-inch angle clamped on there, and you know, and that worked. It held it in place, but I want to try and glue this on and have no exposed rivets. So I'll rivet it along this panel here, and the other one is going to cover, or, you know, is going to overlap this, and then I'll put a chrome molding on it, just an adhesive molding. So it'll have rivets down that seam there, but nowhere else. That's what I'm shooting for anyway. So I've fiddled around with a bunch of different ways of doing it, and I found one that seems to be working, and you know, I kind of bunged up a couple of spots here experimenting, but this is on the bottom of the panel. I think it'll be fine, and I can probably take a hammer and dolly and clean that up a little bit before I actually glue it and rivet it. But anyway, that's my plan. So this bay door I'm going to put on here, because this one's bent somewhere along the line when it was in revenue service. Somebody ran that into something or other and bunged up. This all got pushed in, and this bay door isn't bent, but this original stainless was creased. So anyways, so that bay door is okay. I'm just going to reskin that one. But this door is, I mean, the guy could put it in a press and straighten it, but why bother if you have another one, right? So this one here is undamaged. This is the one that came off this is the front bay door here when I filled that bay in with, you know, with the landing and the door and steps and whatnot. So I have that bay door. I'm going to have one on the other side as well, underneath the slide out. I'm going to build a different door for that, so I can access that bay while the slide out's out. Right now I have to put the slide out in because these doors cantilever up, and that won't work on the other side, so I'm going to put a swinging door over there. Anyway, enough rambling. That's my plan. I will, now that I've kind of got it figured out how I'm going to do it, I will video the process on the next panel, and hopefully I don't bung it up. But we'll see. Alright, so here's a Bojangle setup that I have to form this stuff. I think I made a mistake on the first one, and I formed this line down here first. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend that round, or try and curve it first, and then I'll bend that line into it second. And unfortunately I don't have any way of setting my camera up to film this as I do it, so all I can do is kind of tell you what I'm doing and then show you what happened, good or bad. And I think I also kind of goofed on the other one. I tried bending the whole thing at once, and it's too long. There's just way too much force there. If I had like I said, if I had my English wheel, nothing to it. It would bend. I could form it like nothing, but I don't. So this is what I got to do. What I'm going to do is I've got that I'm going to clamp this piece of aluminum along the top, and then I have this piece of 3/4 inch angle that I'll clamp on the bottom along here, and then just do sections of, I don't know, maybe a foot or so at a time, and I'll start in the middle rather than what I did last time. I tried to bend it all at once, and of course the two ends bent more than the rest, so I ended up with a little bit of almost a crease here. It's not really noticeable, but if I can get away from not doing that, that would be better. So I'm going to give that a try. Now, once I'm done here, I'll take a little bit more video. I wish I could film as I do it, but I just don't have the equipment for that. Alright, so that is what I'm going to call done. This is not very precise. Let's see how it fits on there and what it looks like, but I don't know, maybe I'm going to have to break down and buy an English wheel. Doesn't have to be anything huge or spectacular for an English wheel to do this, but maybe that's what I'm going to have to do. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not thrilled with the results of this. You'd think it'd be fairly easy, but it's not. Okay, so there it is, mounted on the door. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. That doesn't sound very good, does it? So you can kind of see what I'm trying to, I don't know if it shows up in the video. Let me look from the other side maybe. It doesn't make any difference, not any better. You can kind of see what I'm trying to reproduce here. That's the original aluminum, I don't know what you'd even want to call that, but anyways, the aluminum part there, the original one, and that's the pieces formed around it. And it's not bad on the ends, but I'm having a hard time getting the consistent curve all the way down. It's pretty close, but maybe I just need more practice. I only have 4 of them to do. Well, I mean, I have all kinds of these panels to make, but only 4 big ones like this. The rest of them are smaller, so they're shorter. So I'll be able to just use put it in the brake press and in the metal brake, and then because these panels are 55 inches wide, a little over 55 inches, and my brake's only 48. So, but all the rest of the panels that I have to do are all, a lot shorter than that. So maybe I just need to keep practicing. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to leave this and post this at this point. And if anybody's got any better ideas for forming this, let me know. I'm not against going and buying an English wheel if I need to. They're about 650 bucks or something for the what I'd need. But in the grand scheme of things, that's not the end of the world. Now I'd like to get a little bit more curve in it, because this is right here is not staying in where it should be. Now I can clamp it and glue it, and most likely it'll stay there, but I'd rather be positive than most likely. And then this will be riveted along here and on the top, this top seam here. So there'll be, and then I'll put a chrome molding on here. So that would, so then there'd be no exposed rivets, which is kind of what I'm going for. But anyhow, like I say, I'm going to leave it like that. I'll post this, and if anybody has any better ideas how to form this, I'd be grateful. All right, see you later. All right, so it's a few days later, and I got the panel mounted on the other door, and the door mounted and installed on the bus. As you can see, there's needs some fine tuning. This door isn't bent, and the other one was, so I guess when they did the repair on it or whatever, when Greyhound had it, they just pounded it out close and left it. And so this door, the front is where it should be, but the back is too high, because down underneath here is all bunged up. So that's something I'm going to have to address. I want to make up new panels for the bottom there too, because it's bunged up all the way along. It just doesn't seem to bother the front door so much. Anyway, I don't know if the difference really shows up that much. I don't know if it's worth all the effort, but that's what I'm going with anyway. So hopefully it'll be worth the effort in the end. That's as far back as that goes. The next panel doesn't get the that raised rib, and goes right up to the front wheel well there. So anyways, that's it. Oh, and I don't know if I have videoed this or not. I don't think I have. I put built the deck here over the summer. So that's basically what I've been working on. That was my project for the summer. I didn't really work on the bus at all, and this didn't really take all that much time. I just didn't have a lot of time to work on anything. So mom and dad are requiring a fair amount more work, so they just need more attention. So that's more important than a bus. So I'm cuts down quite a bit on the time that I have available to work on things. But it'll get done eventually. I will next year get a hardtop gazebo. Just have this temporary fabric one up here because I didn't know if it was, we get fairly good winds here, and I didn't know if it was going to survive, but this survived, so I got it all strapped down with tie straps, but it survived the summer, so I'll get a steel, hardtop steel roof gazebo next year, and then I don't have to take the top off in the winter. I built a walkway here down there's the old door and skins and stuff I took off. Built a walkway down here with a ramp on the end. Makes it easier for my parents to get up here. There's not so many steps, but anyways, I got an inflatable hot tub, which I've really been enjoying, and yeah, a nice place to hang out in the evenings over the summer once the sun went down and cooled off. But anyways, that's it for now, and there's my wood pile mess. I got to do something with that. The jobs seem to never end. Alright, so a little bit more on the stainless skinning here. I fiddled around. I put the cover over top of the fuel tank there, and those pieces fit into the brake. They're only like 2 feet wide or whatever, so I was able to just put those in the brake. And what I'm thinking about doing is not worrying about curving that. Like, I'm having a lot of trouble curving that where it comes up to where the rub strip's going to be. But I could just put it in the brake and make a bend and leave that piece straight. And when you look at the two of them, you can hardly even see the difference. So I'm thinking that maybe what I'll do is not worry about curving those pieces. That'll be, that eliminates the need for a English wheel, or I could maybe do it in my bead roller, but the difference is so minute that I'm thinking I'm not gonna bother with curving it, and I'll just do a little bit of a bend on it. It's about, I don't know, I'd say somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees each way. So it's not much of a bend anyways, but only comes out 3/4 of an inch. Anyways, if anybody has a better way of doing this, or something I'm missing or not thinking about or whatever, feel free to leave a comment and with your ideas, and I'll I don't think I'm going to get anything more done this winter. I've got other things I got to deal with, so these panels here I'll do them in the spring. All these panels here are going to have to come off and get redone. And I have the whole other side yet to do. So I might get to this panel here. I have a little bit more stainless, so I might get to that little piece there. Anyways, doesn't matter. Anyways, so if anybody has any ideas of a way to do this that would be a little better, something I'm not thinking about, let me know, and I'll keep it in mind. Anyways, I'll put this up, and we'll go from there.